here joking. You mean to tell me people are choosing a blue hedgehog over Disney nostalgia?
Well, this has been a popular topic for a while. In December 2024, there was a huge race for the box office between Mufasa and Sonic 3. Well, less of a race and more of a my movie's better than your movie on the internet. Mostly from Disney regarding Mufasa.
Even though Mufasa was the #1 movie in the world.
But wasn't Sonic 3 #1 in America?
#1 in the world?
Okay.
Like most of the Disney remakes, it was panned by critics but made huge amounts at the box office, which for Disney was a big success. Until people on Twitter told them Sonic 3 was the better movie, to the point that Disney tried to respond by,
"Oh, censor, censor, censor."
The ironic thing is it made Disney look more worse. To the point where there was a rumor that Disney was going to buy the Sonic franchise. And people on the internet accused that Disney will ruin Sonic like other franchises they bought. When I heard this, I was like, huh? I mean, I know the last few years weren't successful, but maybe I have a biased opinion than people on the internet. Even I, as a diehard Disney fan, will admit that they themselves never hit bullseye. But they don't ruin franchises intentionally. And before you start typing in the comments, I'm wrong, this isn't the first time Disney has dealt with backlash. Let me explain. In 1934, Walt Disney announced the production of the first fully animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, in the New York Times. Back then, a fully animated movie was unheard of, and Hollywood even called it Disney's folly. Even Walt Disney's wife Lillian and his brother Roy attempted to talk him out of it. Then the film premiered in 1937 and was a huge success, bringing the idea of animated movies mainstream. Later in the 1940s, the failures of Pinocchio and Fantasia caused Disney to lay off some of their animators, resulting in a strike. Not to mention, war. A lot of companies were failing, and Disney was no exception. Sound familiar? Years later, most of Disney's flops of the past later became cult classics years later by a devoted fan base. And yes, I was thinking of doing a month reviewing these movies. Okay, a lot of the complaints were for the products Disney has bought. Pixar, the Muppets, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Fox. And I'll go through each of them to give my honest opinion if Disney ruined them or not. First up, Pixar, giving us the first fully animated CGI film, Toy Story. They, of course, had trouble with A Bug's Life, seeing how Katzenberg left Disney to create DreamWorks. Their solution was to do a sequel to Toy Story. And unlike most sequels, it added and improved on the idea and showed that Pixar wasn't a one-trick pony and made more CGI films for Disney. But then something bad happened to Pixar over the years. They also started to suck. They tried to milk ideas that didn't work and lost more than they gained. Not to say kids enjoyed them, but the magic wasn't actually there. They of course bounced back with used ideas, but with a unique spin. Now let's talk about the Muppets. Okay, Jim Henson has properties that relate to both kids and adults, but Disney was only able to get the Muppets due to copyright. In my opinion, they are still trying to entertain both kids and adults, but most of the time it's mainly kid focus. Also, when they try to be adult, it doesn't work out for them. I do like the ideas the Muppets come up with, and the puppeteering is still pretty good. I mean, they are Jim Henson puppets. But most of the time, they make jokes that entertain kids more than adults. Okay, now I'm talking about Marvel. Wait! Let me explain. I agree not every Marvel movie or idea hits bullseye, especially with some of the decisions they made. But everyone said every Marvel property after Avengers Endgame was worse. To that I say, have you all been living under a rock lately? Stop it! Seriously, I can't take a break with you guys. After Endgame, the lowest the Marvel movies have gotten was around the 40% range on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't good according to most scored Marvel movies of the past. And do you want to know what the worst score the Marvel movies had? It was 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. And guess what movie was that from? 20th Century Fox's Fantastic Four 2015. Yeah. Plus, the Marvel shows on Disney Plus were both hits and misses. Shows like Loki, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and X-Men 1997 were pretty good and moved the stories further. So there's that. Now let's talk about Star Wars. Knock it off! I keep forgetting the comment section is full of these guys. Much like the Marvels, the Star Wars properties made by Disney, in my opinion, were hit and miss. And that is due to one phrase. Neat idea, poor execution. You know what I mean, where a company thinks a story, character, or idea would work, but it's poorly done in the outcome. Plus, Disney wasn't the only company that has done this. Venom's storyline in Spider-Man 3, Stewie Griffin in an episode of Bones, an entire live-action Dragon Ball movie. Even YouTube's How It Should Have Ended had the same idea about the Acolyte.
So much Jedi potential. Dead.
But some of the shows made by Disney worked, like The Mandalorian, of course, was popular, and The Bad Batch was a good show. Andor was also a good show, despite it being based on the character of Rogue One. So you can see where I'm going with this. And then there's 20th Century Fox. Honestly, I feel like Disney pretty much saved their franchises. Before Disney bought them, their successful films were the Deadpool movies, which even mocked the films before them.
Hey, it's me!
The X-Men films were running on steam and messing up some of their storylines. And of course, Fantastic Four 2015 botched the box office. The Alien Predator franchises were running on fumes as well. And of course, The Simpsons.
All my problems are my parents' fault!
But to be honest, Disney does have some franchises that turn out to be bad. Like the Pirates sequels become worse after each installment, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny wasn't that good either. Plus, there were classic books and shows ruined by the respective movies made by Disney, so I can see where the internet is coming from. But to be fair, there have been comments throughout the years of nostalgic properties being ruined over the years as well. Did Shyamalan the story Avatar: The Last Airbender? Did Michael Bay ruin the Ninja Turtles franchise?
You're a talking turtle.
And you're a human nerd.
Did Joel Schumacher ruin Batman Forever? See what I did there?
This is why Superman works alone.
No, the franchises still continue to move forward, and the bad adaptations are just bad adaptations. The Ninja Turtles are still going strong in animation.
Who doesn't love my one-liners? They fire up the team, right, guys? Ah, boy.
Avatar is still getting different spin-offs for better or for worse, and Batman begins to rise back in The Dark Knight with Christopher Nolan. It's funny how easy it is to make puns of that.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And let's be honest, whenever there was a bad Disney film, people just forget about it. Remember G-Force, a comedy spy film about agent hamsters? Yeah, neither did I.
To the family.
Where is the bathroom?
Well, for me, pretty much where you're standing.
Oh, it's nasty!
Let's be honest, the worst attention you can give a product is no attention. And no company knows more about that than Disney. Even if a product gets backlash, a company is going to find a way around it to their advantage. But now let's talk about the stuff the internet doesn't want to talk about. Disney's success stories. I want to talk about these just to explain my opinion on the subject. Remember Prey, the spin-off prequel to The Predator? That was a hit despite it being part of the Predator franchise.
You can't.
I'm trying to protect you.
Protect me from what?
Inside Out 2 succeeded despite it being a Pixar sequel. A sequel. Those were awful before.
There's a part 2? We're going!
And then there was a little Marvel hit called Deadpool and Wolverine.
Suck it, Fox. I'm going to Disneyland. Get fucked!
Not only was it a good movie, but it was a big send-off to Fox's Marvel franchises. So yeah, even though Disney has made some bad decisions, they still like to take risks. I know they are easy to mock and play it safe, but my favorite Disney movies were the ones that took the biggest risks. Toy Story 1 and 2, Pirates of the Caribbean, and The Lion King, which told the best lessons to teach people even today.
The past can't hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it.
And Animated Baboon, voiced by the late Robert Garland, pretty much summed up what was really important. I'm Galactic Knight, and I'll see you guys next time. Quick, he's gone to the comment section.